Ako, may naman ito niyagi. Nagpaban ko sa iya. Nagpa-eyeglasses ko ba?
Fashion in Switzerland, where the locals, often considered the most buttoned-down people in Europe, really let
Uli
loose.
na din siya kay...
And an epicenter of this midwinter craziness before Lent are the celebrations in the city of Lucerne. Before sunrise, the driving beat of multiple parading bands wakes the city up like a mobile alarm clock. Musicians wearing weird masks, playing loudly, often out of tune, march through the waking town. Today is Mardi Gras, French for Fat Tuesday, the same Mardi Gras celebrated in New Orleans. After 6 days of carnival celebration, this is the climax. Lent and fasting start tomorrow, but today is all about bringing on what's fun and tasty. Music of all kinds, costumes of all kinds, and food of all kinds. What better time for a little cheese fondue? After sunrise, the bands forget typical Swiss discipline and order and break up, wandering randomly throughout the town. The bands play on. The streets are filled with the vibe of relaxed goodwill. Restaurants are packed. Bands spontaneously take the stage and play enthusiastically. A children's parade is a sweet way to train kids to carry on this tradition. Even five-star hotels open their doors and let the partying public celebrate inside. Somehow, late in the afternoon, the groups reorganize for a long parade. Bandmates with famous Swiss stamina keep playing. Themes vary from ancient pagan to political satire to every creative scene in between. With the end of Fat Tuesday parties, carnival celebrations in Lucerne and across Europe are finished. Festival-filled valleys and towns are now quiet, as after Fat Tuesday comes 1,000 years ago, when these stones marked the season. Imagine ancient times, the despair of winter. Where did the sun go? Nothing's growing. Will we all starve? But gradually, every year, flowers bloomed, crops grew again, and the green promise of spring returned.
ibalik, no?
Back in pagan
Cellophane.
times,
Yung cellophane sa
stone
phone.
circles, which experts believe functioned as
Shoes,
celestial calendars to track the sun and mark the seasons. With spring equinox, Druids would gather to celebrate the end of winter and the arrival of spring, a time of renewal, birth, and fertility. Over the centuries, the Church embraced the same springtime theme of new life, and that's Easter. Easter is preceded by a week filled with holy activities when Christians remember Jesus Christ's final week, progressing from suffering to death to resurrection. In Spain, Holy Week is called Semana Santa. It's celebrated with unrivaled pageantry and emotion, most famously in Seville, or Sevilla. Here, Semana Santa is an epic event that stirs the soul and captivates all who participate. On Palm Sunday, the first day of Holy Week, families dressed up for this important day head into their parish church for Mass. Then, promenading with palm and olive branches, they make a loop through the neighborhood, eventually returning to their home church. Afterwards, they visit other churches throughout the city, each displaying elaborate floats. Sevilla has many religious brotherhoods or fraternities that are entrusted with the care of venerable floats that carry statues of Christ and the Virgin Mary through the streets during Semana Santa. Sevillanos hold a special place in their hearts for Mary. Floats with Mary evoke great emotions and remind them of the grieving mother who has lost her only son. Every neighborhood church has its own unique Mary. All are the grieving mothers of the crucified Christ, but each one represents a different aspect of her sorrow. And there are other floats. This one, nicknamed La Puraquita, or the Little begins its procession through the narrow streets. This marks the official start of Holy Week. From now on, every day until Easter Sunday, the city is enlivened with dozens of such processions. These ritual parades first filled the streets of Seville 400 years ago. They're designed to present the story of the Passion, the death and resurrection of Jesus, in a way the average person could understand. Today, some 60 fraternities each make the journey on foot, carrying floats and processions like these from their parishes to the city's cathedral and back. The journey through miles of passionate crowds can take up to 14 hours. Strongmen called costaleros work in ships. As a team, they bear 2 tons of weight on their shoulders, an experience they consider a great honor, despite and indeed because of the great pain involved. As the floats slowly make their way to the cathedral, moments of great passion occasionally bring everything to a standstill. Centuries of flamenco singers have serenaded Mary and Jesus with love songs as they process through the city. Traditionally spontaneous, these passionate songs occur when a singer is so overcome with emotion, he must break into song. As dusk settles on Seville, a long line of silent, black-clad penitents escort one of the city's most moving floats toward the cathedral. The float portrays the dead Jesus taken down from the cross and mourned by the people who loved him most. Among the most dramatic of these processions, the float is decorated simply with purple iris and a single red rose, symbolizing the blood Jesus shed. As night closes in, penitents' candles sway like fireflies dancing in the dark. The Andrea appears, ethereal and radiant. A shower of petals rains down upon her as if heaven itself is thanking her for her immense and loving sacrifice. In Greece, we're in the city of Nashville, Easter is celebrated as both the welcoming of spring and as a deeply religious festival with a distinctly Orthodox Christian flavor. By late Saturday night, on the eve before Easter, the people spill from their churches and fill the main square with a palpable sense of expectation. When midnight strikes, fireworks light up the sky, and finally, Easter Sunday is here. The Holy Flame, which literally travels from Jerusalem to Athens and then to towns throughout Greece, is shared along with the ritual Easter kiss of love. And it's not over yet. Everyone then heads home for the biggest party of the season. People carry the Easter flame home as a burning candle. Raising it above their heads, they make a cross above the doorway, symbolizing that the light of the resurrection has blessed their home for another year. A long table awaits as the extended family gathers. They have a competition to find out whose Easter egg will be the strongest. Signs of disappointment from losers are mixed with the laughter of winners until the proud victor, who will enjoy a particularly blessed upcoming year, is declared. It's a joyous family gathering. The feast continues into the wee hours of Easter Sunday, with lots of meat and eggs and no shortage of Easter bread. And the feasting continues after a little sleep. By the afternoon, in villages all across Greece, families are grilling lamb, eating, singing, and dancing. It seems there's a spring lamb on a spit in every backyard. The roast takes hours, but no one's in a hurry. It stops, the feast begins. Lamb off the bone.